Over the past 3 videos, this truck has gone through quite a makeover. The Changed Forever trilogy is where we literally changed the truck forever. The biggest transformation this truck has ever gone through just took place over those last 3 videos because we took the truck from looking like this to looking like this. And so now we're going to change it again. We're going to go through and re-patina the entire side of this truck. Only the spots where we painted though, not like the fender or this section right here. We want to leave those because those are already patina for us. So we're going to go through, sand this all back down, make the paint lighter, get some different buffing wheels, and start wearing through the paint to create an authentic looking patina instead of an artificial one. We've already got patina starting on this passenger door because the hinges are broken. Every time you open the door, it wears on that fender. That wear mark has now created patina. So now all we got to do is pull that patina across the entire side of the truck. So I've also done a few other little things, little personalizations I'll show you a little later on. But right now, let's go ahead and just start sanding. And if you're just tuning into the channel now, make sure you like and subscribe, turn on the notification bell, leave a comment down below, and sit back and enjoy the show. So what I'm starting with here is just 600 grit, like wet sanding paper. And that's probably not enough, but I want to see what we're working with right now. We're getting a lot of balled up, and that's these little specks, which these little specks right here, when they can scratch the crap out of your paint. And so we want to be careful while we're doing that. But I think we could use a heavier grit, because this is just barely scratching the surface. See what I did there? So now moving on up to my sanding foam. It's a little bit more abrasive than what we were just using, but we're only going to use it right here just to see what's going to happen. So that's actually giving us a really nice uniform sand. We're starting to get that smooth paint back away from the little bit of orange peel that we had going on. So I guess we're actually starting to get through, maybe? Get through into the black a little bit here, hopefully. Now we got a long ways to go before we're gonna start hitting the black. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to find some more of this. And I guess I'll just keep sanding. So this right here is just a little example of what I'm talking about by authentic wear and us wearing through the paint after sanding. This was just a little bit of work right here. I did do a little bit of a mess up right here and right here, but that is authentic wear. So we'll just need to be a little bit more careful as we go down this line, but like wear marks right here, this little bit coming through. And would you look at that shine? Wow. So I've sanded this all back and I've gone through multiple different sanding papers. We've started with like 350, worked our way down to 400, and then now we did 600. And now I'm going to go back over all of this because we're already starting to get a little bit of a shine. I'm going to go back over it all with that wire wool like we did several videos back to start getting that uniform look. And the reason why I'm sanding it like this is because after I had buffed it here just a little while ago, I was noticing that there was still streaks that we were missing from the sanding paper, right? and I didn't want that, so I'm trying to remedy it as best as I can. But through sanding, it did make it nicer to where I can already see some patina starting right here, that of the passenger door, and we were able to soften out some of the bad sections with just being able to sand over it like that. So now all we got to do is go through, wipe it back down, basically scrub it with the wire wool, and we can start shining the truck up. I'm hoping to get this truck put back together by the end of the video, so because I really want to see what it looks like outside, mirrors on, bumper on, and this side completed. So let's get to it. So I scrubbed this thing over 3 times with the wire wool. What I mean by that is I scrubbed it once, wiped it back, dried it, scrubbed it again, so on and so forth, on every surface that we've painted. Before I did that, I had sanded through on these areas to make the paint a little bit thinner. That way when we get the buffing wheel and we start trying to get our shine and our patina, we don't have to work as hard. And not only that, we were able to get a lot of those scratches that you get when you're sanding out of it. And like I had said before, we started from 350 all the way down to 600 before we started using the wire wool. After we use the wire wool, we actually have a shine starting in the paint already, which will only make our job a little bit easier when we go to shine it up. You can see right here on this fender here, it is nice and shiny, and that this is kind of more matte. So we have a lot of work to do yet before it's going to be there, but I don't think we're going to have to work as hard as we did when we did this earlier. So all that's left to do now is what I've been waiting to share with you for quite a while now, and that's getting this side completely shined up. Remember a few videos back when we were getting every single bit of this truck shined up, and we came here to the passenger side and we had that real big bummer realizing that there was no blue underneath all this primer that was here? Well, we are now back to that video where we can finally make this side shine and be patinaed just like the driver's side, making our 61 years of life on this old truck actually here. And I don't know, I'm at a loss for words. I'm excited. I'm glad this is all coming together pretty decently. We still got a little bit of tedious work left to do, but overall, I think this is looking much better than what we started with, what was it, a couple months ago? It's almost refreshing, you know? Because then all we have to do next is the hood and the top of the truck, the bed, engine work. More and more I start talking about it, the more and more I realize we still have to do, but it's all good work, it's fun. Anyway, let's go ahead and get this knocked out and hopefully get the truck put back together by the end of the video, which means mirrors and that bumper getting put back on. So this blue right here is paint coming off with that little bit of black. That's that paint coming off there. So now I'll go ahead and take this little guy and clean up our mess. Now, it's not an exact science because you will have to probably go over it by hand with a microfiber cloth because it does get stuck in places the machine can't get. But look at that. We're already having some of the patina come through right here, but that is shining up quite well. We've been able to get rid of a lot of the scratches. Obviously, I'm going to run over this a couple times. This was just a quick little demonstration because we're going to speedy through this because this is going to take us a little bit. Well, folks, there you have it. We've successfully completed the patina on the 1964 Chevrolet. And the truck already looks 10 times better than it did when we started the video. Not to mention when we first brought it home when it looked like this. Can you believe that over just the few, 10 months working on this truck, it used to look like this and now looks like this? So how did we do? How did we do in comparison to the driver's side? The driver's side of the truck is that 61 years of age, that perfect patina that you want, and this passenger side, well, it just wasn't. So after doing our authentic style patina on this side, how does it compare to the real deal on the driver's side? Comment your answers below. I'm really curious to see what you guys think, how we did, how do we do? And on top of that, we also have the hood and the top to do. So I want you to comment down below what you think. Should we paint the hood or should we leave it alone? Now mind you, this hood right here, it's somewhat authentic patina, but not quite. Somebody has done some sanding on this side prior to it arriving here, so there's a little bit of non-authentic patina going on here, but it doesn't look half bad. My opinion, there's a little too much patina. So I want to know what you guys think. Should we go ahead and paint this, re-patina it just like we did on this passenger side, or should we leave it alone? And for the top of the truck, that's got to get painted either way. So comment below what you think color it should be. White, like every other Chevy C10 you see out there, where they paint the top from the windows up or just the top of it white? Or should we make this Chevy unique like it is and paint it the original blue top that it would have had if nobody had messed with it out there? So I want to know what your suggestions are, so make sure you comment those below, like I said. And thank you so much for stopping by the garage today. This was a fun adventure. These past 4 videos now of the changed after trilogy and our patina, this has been the biggest transformation on the Chevy thus far. And I think it was one of the most important ones, because now we can start moving on to some of the more fun stuff. And what I mean by that is like the bed. All that wood is rotting out, we got to get that bed fixed. We've got suspension work to do. We've got engine work to do, and we haven't even touched the interior yet. And I can't wait to do that. But we'll save doing any interior work until we're finally done with all the outside stuff, right? But I think she's passable, Oh, and I almost forgot. Did you notice that Chevrolet is painted nice, bright white? And I also took the liberty of painting the little, how about I just show you? You see that? The blue around the Chevrolet bow tie? I took the liberty of painting that blue as well. I was gonna paint the Chevrolet bow tie blue, but it just didn't sit right with me. That wouldn't be original, but I wanted my own flair to it because this is a piece of art. I am the artist, so I gotta put my own little tweaks in there, right? But anyway, we want to make sure we keep history around, especially history like this, these old Chevys, and you are helping out more than you know just by watching these videos, subscribing to the channel, liking the videos, turning the notification bell on, and chatting with me in the comments below. So make sure you comment. Don't forget to do that. I want to know what you have to say. And on top of that, little announcement. I've got a podcast starting called the TGR Podcast. If you've been seeing little advertisements out there for it, be watching for that podcast to air. It'll air just like any other video, but it'll be under our podcast tab. And I cannot wait to have conversations with you about cars and whatever else comes up in conversation. But on that note, I want to thank you guys so much for stopping by the garage today. Like and subscribe. Share it with a friend. I'm hungry. I got to go get something to eat, but I'll see you all next time right back here at the garage.